One local astronomy organization hosting their first interstellar event since the launch of the pandemic. It's a spaced-out observation. It's a night for the public to enjoy some constellations. Here to tell us more and take us out of this world is Fox 17's Savannah Fish. Good morning.
We are certainly taking you out of this world, Brody. Good morning to you. Well, right now we are at the Veen Observatory. I want you to take a look as to where we are. This is the West Dome. Take a look at this telescope. This thing is massive. And to tell us a little bit about it, I have Chris Miller, the president here at GRAAA, Grand Rapids Amateur Astronomical Association. Yes, there we go.
Three times real quick, and then you'll really know.
Good morning to you. So tell me a little bit about this computerized telescope. This is very impressive.
So what we have is we have a permanently mounted telescope here. It's one of our showpiece pieces of equipment. Unlike the scopes that we have out in front that have to be moved manually, this one is computerized. So it already has a program database of objects, and we can tell it to point to a particular object. Like right now, it is actually pointed in the direction of Venus.
Yeah.
We have it mounted under a 16-foot dome that was put around this. Interesting note on that, the company that actually built this dome used to have their business in farm silos. That's where they started out building. So this telescope is one we can reorient, and we will be demonstrating here quickly about how we move the telescope.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have the dome itself has to move as well to keep up with the telescope.
Right. So if we could show what that is like, it's all computerized, like you were saying, so you can really adjust exactly to where you want to look.
We refer to this as a go-to telescope. In other words, we give it an instruction to say go to, and we're telling it right now to go to Mars. And so it knows the coordinates, and it's going to head there right now.
And this is really messing with my balance right now, my vertigo. It's all kind of wonky right now. This is so cool.
It's spinning on us, yes.
I don't know if you guys can really get the impact of what this feels like, but I'm very dizzy right now. But this is really cool. So now we are looking at...
And so now we would be, actually we can see Mars during the daytime at this particular time of year. Later in the year, by the way, Mars will be coming up in the evening. That'll be something that'll be happening this October, where you'll actually be able to see Mars in the October sky. So our public viewing events during the October season will feature.
Yeah, and if we could just quickly show a couple examples of what people could actually see in a night sky.
Exactly. This being the daytime, of course, we can't actually see any stars, but I do have here a representation, if we'll turn on our tablet again.
No, that's all right. But this is just a little bit of a closer, detailed look of what people can see. And again, this public viewing event is tonight at 9.
So we have objects that we call, like this is a globular cluster. Why? Because it's a cluster. Yeah, we don't come up with some. We have, every once in a while, we can come up and we can see nebulae, and that's what we're seeing here in this particular image. And then there's a different nebula. So there's all sorts of objects in the sky. There's just a whole zoo full of different kinds of objects with different characters. And actually, I've spent the summer out here. I've spent many a sleepless night out here to view this stargazing and to collect these images. One of the interesting impacts of COVID for myself, because astronomy is actually, kind of a lone sport, that coming out and working with this is actually compatible with COVID because you're on your own typically. It's the public events that have been impacted, most strongly by this. So for this year, actually this has been not a bad season for astronomical viewing. So this is what we'll be demonstrating later on this evening.
And we'll talk more about those coming up in just a bit. We're actually going to take you outside and show you a little bit more of those photos coming up. But for now, live in Lowell, Savannah Fish, Fox 17 News.
We're all just floating on a rock through space. Savannah, thanks for that report.